All right, I'm back in the music school, as you can see. Um, and while I was practicing, I sometimes my mind drifts off and I start thinking about things that have nothing to do with the thing I'm practicing right now, which I shouldn't. I shouldn't focus, right? But sometimes the mind does that. You start daydreaming, and I thought about one particular topic, which is there's a kind of personality trait that I would like to become more alike. So we know that there's different personalities, right? And there are kinds of people that are more extrovert, some people that are more introvert. Then there are the nice guys, there are the douchebags, there are people that are very intelligent on a logical level, right? They are very good in math and science. They read a lot of books, but then there are people that are very empathetic, people that have a lot of social intelligence, which is very different from the other type of intelligence, right? And I was thinking, well, wouldn't it be cool to kind of combine all of these things, and make one type of personality? And how I would describe that kind of person is by saying, yes, you are a rock star who reads books. Okay, so let me just close this because I want to look into the camera. So, a rock star who reads books. That's how I would describe that kind of personality. Because, for example, we have the kind of nerdy person, that studies a lot, is very intelligent, maybe plays chess, that kind of person, even like the looks. Yeah, we also oftentimes we stereotype these people, but stereotypes are there for a reason. It's because oftentimes, these kind of nice guys, they have like these little glasses on. They wear like these really uptight clothes, not really loose, also in their body language and all these kind of things. But these guys, they're great actually. Like, let's say for a romantic relationship, for example, if a woman would choose that kind of person, he probably will be financially secure. He has his career, he's probably gonna provide a lot of good things for the family. He's a safe choice. But the thing is, oftentimes a relationship doesn't really work with that kind of person. Why? Well, because that guy most likely comes from a really needy perspective of relationships, right? He kind of feels, okay, I need that other person to complete me. Not all, of course, I'm overgeneralizing, but oftentimes it's like this. If you talk to some software engineers, that are constantly, in their little, bubble, working on laptops all day long, and then like when a social interaction comes, oftentimes they're awkward. They don't really know how to interact with people. And once they get a chance, once they find someone that gives them the opportunity to be in a relationship with them, then they clinch, they grab on that, and they don't want to lose it, and that generates this neediness, which is like super unattractive, right? So, but then of course there are the other extreme, right? Let's call that person Max, who is a douchebag. He smokes too much, maybe he drinks a lot of alcohol, he's impulsive, and he always gives like this I don't give a fuck attitude, and that kind of guy, has no financial instability, but still he makes his money somehow, and he's not scared of rejection. He just goes for everything, and if a girl doesn't like him, he doesn't care. He's like, okay, well, whatever. Like, he has this nonchalant, expression, this like good looking guy, blasé look, even though he's not looking, but his energy, his personality, right? And oftentimes he attracts the kind of person that everyone wants, but then the relationship doesn't go well because of all these other things I mentioned. But what if there would be a way to combine the both extremes and make like this kind of person, right? And that's what I said about the rock star who reads books. And I knew actually a guy like this back when I was living in Germany, in 2017 or 18 or something. He was a pianist. And he was this guy who was wearing like these leather jackets, ripped pants. He always arrived late, for the lessons in school. He was always like 10, 15 minutes late. And, he had his backpack, and he arrived and sit down, and he was just like sitting like this, like his position was always like this. But in the lesson, he just knew the answer to everything. So when we were talking about harmony, like harmony lectures, and we're talking about history, he literally knew more than the teacher. And that's why, the teachers were so frustrated, because they wanted to, like, hey man, you cannot be late and you cannot be with this attitude. But then his grades just showed like that he's insane, right? He knew everything. He was super intelligent. And then on top of that, he played piano like crazy. He played all these like difficult piano concerts, like Prokofiev concerto number 1 to 3, Rachmaninoff, Shostakovich, Brahms, all, he played all of this stuff. He was super intelligent, but on top of that, he had like this I don't give a fuck attitude. And that guy, somehow, I liked him so much. I wanted to be like him, but I couldn't, because I was a nerdy kid, right? I was wearing, like not very stylish clothes. I was super shy, didn't talk to anyone. But this guy, he was open to talk to anyone. He was not like, I'm the best, I'm the coolest. No, he was talking to me and was like, hey man, how you doing, bro? Oh yeah, you're playing that? Oh, that's really cool actually, yeah. And he was interested in what I had to say. So on top of that, he was humble. So that kind of guy, he kind of made me think, wow, that's crazy. I thought that's not possible. I thought you're either an asshole, douchebag, or you can only be the nice guy, But then he was that rock star who read books. So I thought to myself, man, I would love to become more like this. And that's how my journey in self-development and becoming better with all the things in my social life, but also in my career, I wanted to develop this attitude of stoicism, kind of, right? Like, whatever happens, I'll be fine. Yeah, if I audition and it goes wrong, cool. If it goes well, cool. Of course, easier said than done. That's not how it went for me. I went really it was harsh for me sometimes if I didn't succeed in something. But that mentality kind of kept me going. And I realized that in the social environment now, if we talk about that, if I start to become more not taking myself too serious, because that's the thing, right? We always take ourselves too serious. We look at ourselves as if we are this main character in a movie, which is a good thing in and of itself. But if we take that too serious, if we, talk to people and they start, mocking us for some reason because of whatever, and we start like getting pissed off at that or being offended really easily, that doesn't create this mindset of, hey, whatever happens, I'll be fine, but more of a mindset of neediness. People will feel that, and you're suffering. They don't give a fuck. Other people that are seeing you, they don't care. But you are the one who is suffering. If you get offended too easily with whatever people say to you, then you're the one who suffers and not them. If you want to have more fun with everything, it doesn't matter if you're studying in a music school or if you're going out with your friends or something, you need to know when to dumb yourself down, and you need to know when you're okay to talk about deeper things. So when, for example, I had this guy, right? He went out with us partying, right? And sometimes, I would sit with him and I would talk to him and he would tell me like a lot of cool, interesting stuff, and I would listen to him, and he told me like all the books he read, and he said like, look, in this book someone said that this, and he gave me like life philosophies, and I was like open to listen because he was so amazing, right? So I was like, okay, man, this is really cool. But when we went out together, when we were like in the bar or somewhere, he was the dumbest guy ever. He would be like, loud and obnoxious, and he would be like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, and the waiter would come and he would say, yeah, so you guys want something to drink? And he would like joke with the waiter and said, yeah, like we were with a couple of friends, and then he would say like, yeah, I would like to have 21 shots, please. That's for me, and then for the others, they can order something else. He would like make jokes with people and just be dumb and like a clown, and he would just have fun. While I would go into a bar and think like, okay, what do people think about me? I'm here standing now. Does this shirt look good? Like, am I cool enough? And I would not have fun at all. I would be like stifled. I would not know what to say, super in my head, while he was just like, as if he's in his living room, playing PlayStation, and this is all a game for him. So having this now in mind. I knew this guy who, you know, who was like on kind of in the middle, but I would still say he's more tilted into the douchebag extreme, right? But what if you create this awareness now, knowing that there is the nice guy who is like needy and cringe and weird, and you have the extreme, you know, douchebag who is like doesn't give a shit about anything and still, you know, manage to score whatever the goals he wants. No, you'll have like these two extremes, and then you have like this guy who was a bit tilted more to the left. And I have now the awareness, okay, what if you can be this douchebag and whatever quotation marks, but still have the awareness of not being a douchebag, while at the same time knowing that being the complete other guy on the right side, yeah, who is like needy and whatever, is also not the right thing. So you really like position yourself in the center. So imagine now you have this attitude, you go out, you meet people, and you have this like I don't care, whatever, but attitude. Still, like you care, you're sharing love, you know, and you want to give people a good time, and you want to have a good time, right? And that freedom of outcome, that's what I mean. Like you have this like abundance mindset, whatever it is. If people like you or not, doesn't matter. I like myself, and that's what matters, and I'm having a good time. I'm spreading love, and that's what matters. And if you have that attitude, you know, then you come across as this kind of rock star who, you know, who knows that everything will be fine for him anyways. He's a rock star, so of course it's gonna work. He is a star. Everyone knows him. Everyone likes him, right? But then you have the awareness of the guy who reads books, right? Rock star that reads books, and he is then the one who, you know, can go deeper into, for example, a relationship, right? You the first, you know, couple of times you meet with a person, you know, you're on the superficial level, of course, and you attract each other, and, you know, it's fun, and it's outgoing, and it's, like, a lot of, like, cool things happening around you guys. But then, you know, once you start going deeper and deeper, you open yourself up, and you actually show them, hey, actually, I am more than just the surface of coolness, you know? I'm actually more than that. I have a deeper thing within me. I know about life. I'm trying to better myself. I have my insecurities. I'm aware that I have insecurities, but I'm trying to improve on that. I'm trying to be the best person I can, and I'm intelligent. I'm trying to, you know, expand my knowledge, you know, my vocabulary, learning different languages, traveling the world, trying to be more empathetic, trying to understand other people. And if you show that to a person, then that person, you know, whoever it is that is on the other side, you know, of the relationship, let's say, is going to be mind blown. It's going to be a, what? I thought I hit the jackpot. Like, that person is everything I ever wanted. That person is cool. That person is, you know, nonchalant. He like super confident. Doesn't care what people think of him, of her, or whatever. But at the same time, he's introspective. He knows things. He's trying to improve himself. He's, you know, aware of what he's doing, and he's trying to be the best person he can. He's virtuous, you know? That's kind of the perfect, I mean, of course, nothing is perfect, but that kind of person that I think we all should strive to aim for. A rock star who reads books. That's my point. See you in the next episode.